Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach, Shabbat Shalom, Umevorach, Shir Hamalot, Beshuv Adonai, Et Shivat Zion, Hayinu Kechomim. Shabbat Shalom, sing with me. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And to this wonderful, almost a quarter full, maybe, but it feels like so many people, congregation, Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to many of you back to our sacred home. Welcome
I
back
feel like
to the
this is one
sanctuary.
of the largest Friday nights.
Well, this
that
is
we've
the
had.
largest.
It is the largest.
Right. Well, we're slowly accommodating, learning to accommodate more people in a safe way. And it's nice. Just last week, we put all the pews back in, and boy, it feels great.
And they're coming back a second time.
I know. Thank you, Ardith, for coming back, and many other people a second time.
So great.
We're here not only to celebrate Shabbat, we have just a lot of joy that we hope will mitigate the challenges of this week, the challenges that are really surrounding us in great ways beyond this room. We are with many families. The 5th and 6th graders are with us online. And we're mixing a service for all of us in the sanctuary and something you'll find the music speaks to our young people, I'm thinking.
And maybe some of the not
And
so young.
those of us who are young at heart,
That's right.
that'll be me. And we also are celebrating a number of young people becoming B'nai Mitzvah on this Shabbat, beginning tomorrow. And I think you have to say something about the prayer book before I go to the candles.
I do. So for all of you in the sanctuary, you know the prayer book is under your seat or in front of you. For those of you watching on Zoom, there's a prayer book link that our Zoom host will put in the chat, so you can click on that to open it up and follow along. And if you're watching on our streaming site, above the window of the video is an icon that looks like our prayer book. Just click on that. It will open up. Please follow along in the prayer book with us so you can sing at home. You can read with us at home. They better get the Hebrew right.
How about some
'Cause-
dancing at home?
No, not allowed. But we draw the line.
If I were at home, I'd be dancing.
No, seriously, it's fine. Dance, because we have the band here. We have the band here.
We have the band, our Family Shabbat band. Great to have them with us. Thank you all for being here. And we turn now to the families of 2 out of 3 of our B'nai Mitzvah, to Emma Weinshaw and to Jason Narragon and their families. They're coming to us on the Zoom link. And we're going, there they are. If you can turn, people in the sanctuary can turn and see them on the screens. Thank you to both of your families for leading us in the candle lighting. For those of you who are following in your book, we're on page 3. Over to the Weinshaws.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts, May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Thank you, Melissa. You all can light on Zoom, light the candles in both of your homes. And here in the sanctuary, we have Dara Hollop, our religious school director, in honor of honoring our teachers tonight, is lighting the candles in the sanctuary as we all sing together. All of us here, the candle blessing on page 2. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Thank you all so much, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow at your services. And now it's time to turn to Kabbalat Shabbat. If you're with us here in the sanctuary, I hope you'll consider as we sing Lecha Dodi, you're welcome to stand at the last verse to face the entranceway of the sanctuary and welcome in the Shabbat bride, the traditional way of singing this particular song. If you'd like to do that, we are on pages 20 and 21, page 20 and 21. We're singing 4 verses tonight. Verse 1, verse 2, verse 5, and verse 9. Hannah Paracha, our music educator in our band, will lead us in verses 1 and 3. I'll do 5 and 9, or something like that. 1, whatever we said, but you're starting. So whichever one she doesn't sing, I'll sing. Those instructions are really for Rob, our technical director, so he knows where to go. So let's join together, Lecha Dodi. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Shamo v'zachor b'ribo echad, yishmianu el ha'michad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, l'shetu l'iferet l'itila.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh v'makshava techila. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela.
Hitoreri, ki ba'orech u'miori, uri, shir daveri, kavod Adonai alayich nigla.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 9. Bo'i v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula. Bo'i chala, lecha Dodi, likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. adori likrat kala b'nei Shabbat Kabbalah. Great way to start off Shabbat, don't you think?
I felt some
Full of
energy.
energy. They were participating. I love this.
We have missed this.
We really have. We really have. I'm very happy you're all here and you're singing and participating. I love that. Let's join in the Baruch Hu, our call to worship, page 28, as we rise and join together. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Barechu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed, le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai.
The Ma'ariv Aravim, the prayer that comes after Baruch Hu in the evening service, is a prayer that acknowledges the flow of nature, the bringing on of evening, the beginning of springtime, even on this crisp spring-ish day. And I hope you'll join me in the English at the top of 31 that captures the spirit of Ma'ariv Aravim. We read together. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, HaMa'ariv Aravim. And experiencing and connecting to nature is also an experience of unity and oneness, which takes us to our prayer that speaks of such unity, our unity with God, with all of humanity, with nature as well. On page 34, Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Won't you please be seated? And as we continue with the V'ahavta, we know there are many 5th and 6th graders who are joining us in chanting. They've been learning this prayer all year long. And whether you are at home or on Zoom, we invite our 5th and 6th graders to join us in chanting the V'ahavta. Are we ready?
Well, yes, we'll chant it, and though we
There
might be
they
able
are.
to see, oh, there we go. We can see our 5th and 6th graders on our Zoom screen, so you guys please join along with us. Here we go, page 36. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadevarim ha'ele Asher Anochi Mitzavecha Hayom Al Levavecha Veshinantam Levanecha V'dibarta Bam Veshiftecha Beveitecha Uvlechtecha Vaderech Uveshokbecha Uvekumecha Ukshartam Leot Al Yadecha Ve'ayu Letotafot Bein Einecha Uchtavtam Al Mezuzot Beitecha Uvisharecha Leman Tizkeru Va'asitem Et Kol Mitzvotai Vitem Kedoshim Leloechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher Hotzeiti Etchem Me'eretz Mitzrayim Liot Lachem Lelohim Ani Adonai Elohechem. Great job. And now we're going to sing a translation of that V'ahavta called Love the Lord. For those of you in the sanctuary, the words are on your program. For those of you at home and on Zoom, you guys, you have a big task. Those of you on Zoom, and hopefully you're into this and we can come to you during this song. Your job is to do the motions. And actually, if we can come back to the bima for a minute and Rabbi Schwartzman can model the motions for us because you're so good at that. So it's with all your heart.
Everybody can try it here if you feel like it.
Right. Let's see if we can, there we go. With all your heart, okay? And then with all your soul. With all your soul is wrapping around your soul. And then with all your strength. With all your might. That's right. With all your might. I'm going out of it. And then with all your strength. We can't get to 3 feet of distance here. Okay. With all your strength. Okay, you ready? Okay.
All right.
With all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, with all your strength, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, with all your strength. 2, 3, 4. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, and with all your strength. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, and with all your strength. With all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, with all your strength, with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, with all your strength. One more time, and love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, and with all your strength. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might, and with all your strength. Way to go, everybody. Good job, 5th and 6th graders. Love seeing you on the Zoom. Thank you all so much. I hope you continue to participate with us as we return back to our prayer book.
Absolutely. We're back in our prayer book. And the V'ahavta, which is a favorite prayer of so many, not just with that song, but with its message, reminds us that in loving God and following the commandments, we try to make the world a better place. And if we make the world a better place, we can help others get to the place they want to be. Our people were once in a place we didn't want to be, called Egypt. And we were able to cross over the Sea of Reeds, the Red Sea, and get to a place we wanted to be. And that's our job in the world, help other people get to the place they need to be. They need to be safe, they need to have education, they need to have financial security. That's our job. so that everybody can sing a prayer like Mi Chamocha. So that's what we're up to. We're on page 40, and we hope at home and here in the sanctuary, you will sing with us.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש. נורא
תהילות
עושה חוקי הים לבני משה ומרים, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Yisrael. We continue now with the Tefillah section of our service, page 46 in your prayer books. We rise as we join together chanting the first few prayers, starting on page 46. Adonai sefatai tiftach Ufi agitehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Velohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Velohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Velohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chaste Avot v'imaot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. Page 50. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל, אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hakol. Page 52, we read together, you are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. You may be seated. Page 55, Let's read together at the top of the page. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. On page 57, the words and song of Ritzeh, our prayer for prayer. Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu Le'amcha Yisrael. Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu Le'amcha Yisrael. Utefilatam le'ahava tekabel. Utefilatam le'ahava tekabel. Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu le'amcha Yisrael. Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu le'amcha Yisrael. Utehi leratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Amecha. Utehi leratzon tamid avodat Yisrael Amecha. Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu le'amcha Yisrael. Ritzeh Adonai Eloheinu le'amcha Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai she'otecha levadecha be'ir anavon. The final prayers of our tefillah section give thanks to God. It's our prayer of thanksgiving, how grateful we are to God for all of us being together, for the gifts that we share, the blessings that we have, especially seeing all of you in the sanctuary, and most importantly, the final blessing, the blessing of peace in our tefillah section of our service, reminds us that we still need peace in our world and in our lives. Let's take a private moment now, a silent prayer to remember the peace that we find in our hearts. Ya'aseh shalom aleinu ועל כל ישראל, ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו עשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. יא לה 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 יא לה 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 יא לה 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 עושה שלום במרום, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. ואמרו On page 253, we have our Misha Berach prayer for healing, and the traditional prayer at the top of the page, Misha Berach Avotenu ve'imotenu Avraham Yitzhak ve'Yaakov Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah Hu Yivarech et hacholim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Aleichem Lecha Chalimam Ulrapotam Lecha Chazikam Vishlach Lahem Mehira Refuah Shlema min hashamayim, Refuat hanefesh, Refuat haguf, Hashta ba'agala uvizman kariv, and Omar, Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless and heal all those who are ill, including Alon ben Barbara, Hannah Esther bat Krendel, Hannah Leah bat Yosef behendel, Yehuda ben Fischel, Shmuel Barrel, Henry Botak, Benjamin Cohen Mars, Babette Cohn, Brad Cutler, Adi Davar, Benaifer Davar, Elizabeth Drabkin, Rachel Duff, Hannah Elka, Benjamin Frederick, Marcy Friedman, Adrian Gibson, Jamie Hecker, Gloria Heller, Martha Kelly, Nancy Klein, Louis Landsberg, Ed Lerman, Kurt Sandler, Linda Wu, as well as all those who are victims of violence in Israel and around the world, as well as those in service to our country and those suffering from COVID who need emotional, physical, and spiritual healing. And if you would like to say the name of someone that you're thinking about to offer them a Misha Berach, please do so as I look around the congregation. And on Zoom and on our streaming, if you'd like to say the name out loud, please do so now. May the Blessed Holy One be filled with compassion for their health to be restored and their strength to be revived. May God swiftly send them a complete renewal of body and spirit, as together we say, Amen. And we sing the second verse of Mishaberach in your prayer books there on page 253. Mishaberach imotenu mekor haberacha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Can you pull that out?
Shabbat Shalom.
Take off your mask.
Oh, I can take off my mask. Okay, sorry. I'm not used to that. Shabbat Shalom. What an exciting evening to be honoring our teachers, those who engage in the labor of love that is our Temple Road of Shalom education program. Teachers open our eyes to the world. They give us curiosity and confidence. They teach us to ask questions. They connect us to our past and our future. We are so grateful to the sincere and joyous teachers with the energy that they bring each and every week to their students. They enrich our lives, and they pave the pathways for Jewish living and learning. Through this sacred work, you, our teachers, ensure that Judaism will continue to go l'dor vador, from generation to generation. For all this, we thank our teachers.
I want to share a quote of Rabbi Abraham Joshua Heschel, who said, "What we need more than anything else is not textbooks, but text people. It is the personality of the teacher, which is the text that the student reads. That text they will never forget." I love hearing our students talk about all of you, our teachers, many of whom are on Zoom tonight. Sometimes they share what they learned, but more often they share their love and admiration of all and each of you, their teachers. They are uplifted by your spirits. Their love of Judaism deepens as you share your love of Judaism. Their excitement grows as you pour enthusiasm into your class. We are so grateful that you have been the most valuable texts our students could ever study. For all this, we thank our teachers.
By the breath of children, God sustains the world. It's said in the Talmud, one who teaches a child Torah is considered to have taught that child and that child's children and grandchildren to the end of all generations. By helping our children develop into educated, healthy, vibrant adults, we reaffirm the value of life and God's handiwork. Jewish tradition places great value on the sanctity and care of children. Children, like all human beings, are created in the image of God. It is both a gift and an obligation that our teachers take on to protect and nurture this divine spark, to encourage and enable children to reach their fullest potential. Children are the inheritors of the future and need to be helped and taught how to be stewards of the world. And you, our teachers, do that with them. For all of this, we thank our teachers.
The former chief rabbi of the United Kingdom, Rabbi Jonathan Sacks, said, "Long ago, the Jewish people came to the conclusion that to defend a country, you need an army, But to defend a civilization, you need teachers and schools. The single most important social institution is the place where we hand on our values to the next generation, where we tell our children where we and they have come from, what ideals we have fought for, and what we've learned along the way. Schools are where we make children our partners in the long and open-ended task of making the world a more gracious place. In the classroom, there is a curriculum to study. In addition to this material, I know that all of you, our teachers, instill a sense of connection and purpose to the learning that takes place in your classrooms, or in your Zoom rooms, as it was this year. It is not only facts and dates, history and lore that you impart to our students. It is also the feeling of being part of something greater, of understanding the Jewish commitment to community, and of our mission to make the world a better place. For all this, we thank our teachers.
And now we're going to honor those teachers that are on our staff by a short video showing all of the teachers from K through 6, all of our teachers, K through 12.
And specialists.
This was put together by Dara, and we're, so it'll be on the video. Those of you in the sanctuary, you can see it on the monitor as we honor our teachers and sing the words that remind our teachers that what they do is all about teaching Torah. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Baruch atah Adonai. Tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah, la'asok b'divrei Torah. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah, la'asok b'divrei Torah. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongue. Sweet as honey, sweet as honey, sweet as honey on our tongues. Wow, Mazel tov to all the teachers. What a great slideshow you put together. Thank you, Dara. That was great.
That was great. And thank you to all our teachers.
Thank you to
They're
all our
fabulous.
teachers. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. We will turn to our concluding prayers as we turn in our prayer books to page 282. Page 282, and we rise as we go to the ark for Aleinu L'Shabeach. Please join us. Aleinu L'Shabeach Ladon HaKol Lateit Gdula Liotze Breshit Shehu Notes Shamayim Veyoset Aretz Umoshav Yikaro Bashamayim Ima'al Ushkinat Uzo B'Govhei Meromim Hu Eloheinu Ein Od Va'anachnu Koreim Umishtachavim Umodim Lifnei Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Won't you please be seated? We come now to a portion of our service which is about honoring the memories of so many people we have loved and lost. And as we cycle this year past the 1-year anniversary of the arrival of the COVID coronavirus, as we see names, it brings back memories of those very difficult and painful first months. Many of you are here saying Yahrzeit for the first time, and we hope you are supported and strengthened by our community. We take a moment with our own memories and thoughts before sharing the list of names for this Shabbat. On page 288, all the way to 294, there are a number of readings, one that might speak to you. Or perhaps you would like to just take a moment of memory of the person that you might be remembering on this Shabbat. We take our own time for a few seconds. We begin by extending our condolences to the members of the Temple family who have lost beloved members of their family circle in the last 30 days. They're in the period of mourning called Shaloshim. To Christopher Belvedere, we extend condolences on the death of his mom, Gertrude, and Bob Kasdan on the death of his dad, Richard Kasdan. To Adam Buchwald on the death of his mom, Marcia. We remember our longtime wonderful temple member, Henry Lowenstern. We extend condolences to Christy Shores on the death of her mom, Sandra, to Beulah Levy on the death of her husband, Alan Levy, to Danielle Warchowski on the death of her brother, Jonah, and Peter Sekulow on the death of his father, Eugene Sekulow. And to these names, we add the names of people whose yahrzeits are observed on this Shabbat every year. Sonia Achenbach, Ruth Alpert, Ray Barishman, Lenore Becker, Selma Barajas, Stanley Berger, Mitra Bibayan, Miriam Biran, Herbert Bloom, John Byer, Paul Caldwell, Elizabeth Campbell, Beth Doherty, Julia Duberstein, Claudine Einhorn, Benjamin Epstein, Lily Friedman, Robert Gardner, Wynne Greenwald, Rose Haynes, Elizabeth Hall, Chick Hecht, Marshall Horowitz, Stuart Case, Matilda Kellerman, Samuel and Henrietta Klausner, Howard Kramer, Myron Levy, Jack Lewis, Anna Lieberman, Lachlan McDonald, Peter Manischewitz, and Mildred Manischewitz, Bertram Marks, Jim Massey, James McShane, David Milburn, Robert Minsky, George Mitchell, Lillian Moskowitz, Ben Moss, Henry Nierenstein, Belle North, Meyer Ostricker, Gerald Peck, Louis Potashnik, Milton Prince, Louise Rabinowitz, Benjamin Reeder, Fred Reinharz, Rose Rosenstein, Charles Sanford, Melly Schuer, Erna Schlesinger, Harry Schatz, Eleanor Silver, Eleanor Solomon, Robert Stern, Jack Stillman, June Willens, Irene Weiss, Beatrice Yelowitz Golfer, and Yeheskel Zaks. To these names, we add names of other people you might be remembering on this Shabbat. I hope you'll say those names as you stand, and if I mispronounced a name, please do say it again. We begin on this side of the room. Tony Horowitz. Thank you.
Bill Shaw.
We stand with you here in the sanctuary. We stand with those of you who are at home as mourners. We support you as we recite Kaddish Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish, together on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalmad divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chaye echon uv'yom echon uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yithaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha birchu, le'olam mimkol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'almiran v'alma v'imeru amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, Hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace and comfort and strength and love to all of you, to everyone who is a mourner here and everywhere. And let us say, amen. I can't remember what's next. Announcements, I think.
You may be seated.
Please
is
be
what's
seated.
next. And
How quickly we forget.
Sam Klein.
Sam Klein, so glad you're with us in the sanctuary tonight, and thank you for sharing greetings and announcements from our leadership.
Shabbat Shalom. It's great to be here on Teacher Appreciation Week as a third-generation educator. I look around the room, and I'm sure all of you have educators in your life to thank. So anyone who's watching on Zoom, please make sure you're hugging your educators, and in this room, make sure you're hugging your educators, including my wife. Please give me a hug later. To the 5th and 6th graders, I hope you will ask for a second dessert for staying on this late, and if you get a third one, save it for me. Really, we're glad everyone is here, especially being back in the sanctuary. It's really great as we expand, and we hope to see all of you again, and in the coming months to see more and more. It's really nice. But for those who aren't able to come in, there are lots of opportunities at Temple Rodef Shalom. So please check the programs here and the programs online. Tomorrow, we especially want to send out a great sign of Mazel Tov and appreciation for our B'nai Mitzvah families, Isabel, Jason, and Emma. Congratulations to the families. May your day and your weekend be meaningful and full of family and joy. And in terms of activities, there are quite a few to look at, but 3 that really stood out. To me, one is about immigrant stories of perseverance and resilience, as well as the Motors Virtual Happy Hour, and then, of course, the Baking in the Neighborhood, learning about cheese blintzes. Why do those stand out? Because they talk about who we are as Jews, because it's about food and talking and immigrants. So please take advantage of those programs and others, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much, Sam. Before we get to Kiddush, though, I just want to say to everyone watching that this is the last Shabbat before Rabbi Schwartzman goes on sabbatical. So, oh yeah.
Assured, I'll be back in the beginning of July. I will miss you, but I will be praying all around the East Coast.
Yes, you will. And we will be praying for you, for
Thank
your
you.
health and safety.
Thank you.
We will miss you, but we'll hold down the fort.
I have confidence, complete confidence.
Well, we look forward to your returning
Thank you.
in the
Thank
summer.
you. Thank you. And before we make Kiddush 2, it's great to acknowledge first of all, we're so glad that representing the 5th and 6th grade, 6th grader, LJ Lewis Seif, with us leading Kiddush. And we also, it's our celebration of birthdays. And when we are in person, normally we ask everyone who has a birthday at this time of year to come forward. Luckily, we have one young person who is here just celebrated her birthday. Mia Grace is going to come up. Mia Grace and I are going to stand together at the Ark while Cantor, Shochet, and Lewis lead Kiddush.
Good. All right, Lewis, take it away. Okay, I'll do it. Here we go. Page 5, everybody. You ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta Viltanu kidashta mikohamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. L'chaim, LJ. L'chaim, Maya. Cheers. Want to thank our Family Shabbat Band for their fabulous music today. And once a month, we are blessed to have them with us. So thank you to all of them, to Tony, and to Aaron and Dallas and Chad and Hannah. Thank you all very much. To those people who help us behind the scenes, to Rob Moss and Bob Suslowitz, to Graham Marsh, am I forgetting anybody? To Clyde Hilliard, to Jordan Berry, who's helping us tonight. Thank you all so much. And our closing song is found on page 339. Page 339. LJ, you're welcome to stay up here and sing with us if you want. We are going to sing Hava Nashira. Sing Hava Nashira. Please rise and join us and remain standing for our final benediction. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. as we go forth on this Shabbat, a traditional prayer, the Kaddish de Rabbanan, especially for our teachers, Al Yisrael ve'al Rabbanan, ve'al Talmidei Hon, ve'al Kol Tamei Talmidei Hon, ve'al Kol Man de Askin ve'oraita, di V'yatra Hadin v'di ve'chol atar ve'atar. God of heaven and earth, grant abundant peace to our people Israel, to our teachers and their disciples, and to all who engage in the study of Torah here and everywhere. Let there be for them and for us all grace, love, and compassion, a full life, ample sustenance, and salvation from God. And let us all say together, Amen. Shabbat Shalom.